Hello there, welcome to my final regular season league match of season 55 here against Kazumaru. Kazumaru is currently leading this division. I mean, we haven't played the same number of matches, but leading in terms of win percentage. So we can get a good win here. Pardon me, greatly improve our chances of making it to the finals. I don't know if there's, can you do scepter souk stuff? Does that? It's not really different than plain souk. And I mean, which doesn't mean it's not worth doing. There's not a lot here, but it's not like appreciably different from, I don't know, souk engines that play several souks. But maybe it's good. I mean, you can get you can obviously like play the treasures out first. And we're really not. I'm yawning. We really don't have so much going on here that you'd think. You might like to do that. I don't know how you go here. I mean, you just money eventually, but I don't know what the path is to get clean. There's some monastery stuff that's possible, but not, you know, you can easily whiff it. Amulet is probably reasonably good. You could just buy silver, right, and try and buy buy souks. Buy a souk anyway. Guess you could try to do Peace Stone. I don't know what that would involve, just getting silvers and maybe slay. I don't know. It's almost like there's almost enough bad stuff here that you could make it work, but so it's gonna be a bit of a crapshoot. Okay. If you draw the silver in our next hand, we probably like a souk. Not a big fan of the Night Watchman, but okay, we miss on the silver, unfortunately. Otherwise, we'd have a nice shuffle. I mean, it's still a fine shuffle, but I don't know if monastery is worth it. I'm like pursuing this trashing stuff, but it's not remotely clear to me that that's any good. did draw their amulet fresh again, which is nice. You have to assume you're just tossing almost everything here. I could Night Watchman. We'll just see if we draw well enough. You know, it's okay. It maybe was worth Night Watchmaning to find the monastery. I can believe that. We at least found the amulet, which means this is pretty good still. What I'm going to do here is this. I wonder if a second trash worth silver versus gold here. This is a bit of a bummer. I mean, we would be pretty willing to buy province at this stage. I would be anyway. So it's a little sad to have the amulet miss. So I'll probably just take gold and silver. I mean, I don't know what else looks that appealing. We could do gold and flag bearer. We think that, for whatever reason, if we think that them taking flag bearer is going to be awkward. I don't know that that's the case, but. I mean, if you're at the point where people are provincing, then it's kind of nice, right? Because if they would otherwise be provincing and they spin it on a flag bearer, that's okay for you. Whether that's the case, I don't know. So we have, I mean, I think for me, it's either silver or flag bearer. Mostly a question of what I think. I mean, if I think that they are going to be in a spot, okay, I still miss 8, which is pretty bad here. I guess if they're in a similar thing of trying to figure out what to buy, it's not too terrible. Like if they take flag bearer, I can take it. I think if I don't, I think silver gold is probably a little better than. Okay, given that, I think I'll do the trash. We could ball if we think. It's a question, right? Do we think we'll have 9 in a 6-card hand? I mean, it may be costing us a silver gain as well anyway because of the amulet. We may just be there. Not much I can do about that. We'll just have to see if we get it later on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We can trash. We're not going to trash the estate at this point. We don't have enough to gain gold, so it's a question of whether we think trashing copper is better than gaining silver. It's not actually that clear to me. We do have the estate. Means we have some additional flexibility on duchy dancing stuff, and if they miss province ever. It's not impossible to just draw a hand where you can gain gold. Not impossible also to hit like a double duchy hand too with courtier. We'll see. Still think it's probably not worth it to keep monastery. So what I'm going to do here is trash the monastery by province. We still have a chance to be the one that ends with the flag. So we don't quite have it here, so we're just gonna go on. But it's okay. They draw this $8 hand with the Night Watchman over and over, they're gonna be pretty happy. It would have been fairly unlikely. We would have needed to probably draw the other amulet. When does flag happens right at the end of turn? So fortunately, Kazu cannot buy the province very safely. Oh, okay, they just go for it. That's a bummer. I guess I don't have it actually. That was pretty unlucky. I mean, the rest of the cards are like silvers. They didn't play their courtier or amulet, so they still then they didn't play Night Watchman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Guess I still just have to do the there's no special niceness here, unfortunately. And also with the courtier, they may just be able to go like province or duchy estate, which would suck because then I can't do this stuff. What's better here? Again, it's this question of crashing coppers versus gaining silvers. I don't really know. Could probably just have it in hand. I'm just gonna cry. That sucks so bad. I don't. These games. I mean, it would have sucked for Kazu to lose it too, right? It's like, just sucks. It just sort of sucks all around. Sucks for me because I was first player, but I don't know what you're supposed to do there. They drew the Night Watchman. I mean, they had the flag. Oh well. It's just a tough one because you don't feel like they necessarily outplayed you. You just hit 7 when they broke PPR. Oh well. This is very lacking on villages. This is a little bit brutal in general. We're not rolling boards very well so far. Sort of assume dominate will make it fast enough that you have to take peasant. Not fast enough, or just that there'll be enough points left over that you have to do teacher. But you're always gonna have a really bad time with the actions. That's not gonna stop at any point. Not a very good crop rotation board. I mean, you could make it maybe a little better if you... Not that weird to think you might have a hand rebuy his state, I guess, but... Still seems pretty unlikely. So if you have the 5-2, you probably just win here because it's much better than the 4-3. I mean, I wouldn't buy enlarge, but I'd buy modifier vampire. I would probably buy vampire. Yeah, I think I would probably go vampire, but I wouldn't be super mad about either one. This is a rough 5-2. I'm not sure that what I'm doing is correct, but at least I roll a 5 with the silver until they do envious on me here, and then I cry and cry and cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. That's as good as an envious. Well, I don't really know. At least it can't happen twice. I even had the best reshuffle just as in terms of shuffling my cards. There were, of course, many hexes that wouldn't take away my 5, though it might have hurt me in other ways. Pretty bummed about that. I mean, what would we have wanted? Like miserable, or some of the rabbly things wouldn't have hurt me necessarily. So they'd have potential to. I don't know exactly what Bad Omens does, but maybe Bad Omens would have been okay. Can we look at all the hexes? Wow. No, okay, bad omens would have been pretty bad. Delusion would have been the best thing to get there by far. I think I didn't read all of them. Miserable probably next best. Maybe greed. No, haunting would have been not great, but fine. Potentially some of the locusts would have been fine. Anyway. Oh no, I revealed I had my necropolis. What was I thinking? My sheepdog is hiding. Still pretty lost here. Oh, it's not the worst thing ever, to be honest. For whatever it's worth. Necro trash is kind of weird. Is it worth it to play the fugitive? Or the sheepdog, I mean? We may draw the fugitive. That would be the sad part. Otherwise, we can just buy peasant. Probably buy peasant anyway. I have no idea what we're going to do here eventually. It's going to be a real weird one. Okay. I'm going to just do this. Play the sheepdog. Hope fugitive wasn't the very, very next card. Pretty much anything else is fine. This is either a peasant or another sheepdog. Locust, that's could have been really good. In practice, it wasn't that good. It was probably strict. It was probably friendly overall. It's super friendly because they just get to react. That sucks so bad. That sucks so bad. Oh well. Can't do anything. I'm gonna soldier me here. There's a world maybe if I didn't get soldiered where I have 5. But I guess they're probably gonna have 5. Maybe not. That was sad. My locust let them activate sheepdog. That's a bummer. Hopefully they don't have 5 and can It's not that easy to gain cards in the middle of your hand. There's some ways to do it, but it's not trivial. So the village effect from sheepdog isn't guaranteed at all. This is kind of tough for me. I'm trying to think if we go for the double sheepdogs or do we go for getting the peasant. Well, I still sort of feel okay as far as that all goes. I'm not mad about how this is going so far. Besides a few things that I complained about explicitly. This is not clear to me, but I think we go for it. Okay, well that didn't work. It's not like hugely worse, but it is a little bit worse. You know, not exactly what you want. But if we draw another sheepdog, then we're in some business. Maybe it was just bad, given that I had the necropolis. I could believe that was just bad. I mean, if we had gotten through to this hand, that would have been quite a bit nicer. I didn't know they had so many fugitives. I didn't know they were that far along on all this secondary disciple stuff. Oh, it's because they don't have a first disciple. No, okay. Well, that makes me feel a little better. I'm not totally convinced the enlarge is like exciting, but you probably only react with the sheepdogs there if you have more than one, truthfully. We could trash and gain a card, I guess. But you just want to try and move around a little bit here. I wonder if Black Cat is worth getting. I'm gonna be a little over peasanted if I go for a peasant now. Truthfully. But I feel like I should buy something. Could be wrong about that. I want to keep the stonemason. I think for now, yes. Just because there's some sheepdog things you can do with it potentially. I mean, people are gonna have to green at some point. That doesn't really mean the Black Cat is good. You can get a silver. I want a silver. I don't know. So we're gonna not do that. Can't wait till Locust hits my Yeah, like locust is probably not coming around. Maybe they'll play young wedge. I hope they don't have any sheepdogs in hand, although that's incredibly unlikely. You just gain another enlarge, probably. They must have not found more sheepdogs. Otherwise, I think you would just click them pretty quickly. I mean, I guess if you have disciples, it's a little... There's some question. That's fair. I should have questioned my own situation a little bit. Are they going to disciple and enlarge? That feels a little weird. I don't really know what's going on here. The decks, there's nothing putting cards into the deck. I guess the disciples are a little bit. Like they're going to get a modify here. But it feels like Kazu needs something to put cards into the deck for this remodel fuel stuff. So either stonemason things or I guess like livery is probably needed. Because otherwise you don't... Otherwise you can't kind of fuel this. If I have... Like they're on their second disciple and I'm way far away from mine. If I have the teacher in my top 2 cards, maybe I'm playing, but otherwise it's going to be a little tough. Yeah. So it's looking like it'll be a little tough. But it is here, so I didn't have to wait too terribly long. I mean, it's possible Kazu gets a bad draw also, though. This is not looking like it. This is looking like the ideal draw. They have the silver in hand at least, so if they have the sheepdogs, then they're in business. But I guess the black cats are a little bit scary because you can give them... I mean, you don't have to activate them also, I suppose. you can give them sheepdog activations. Need a storeroom probably? Alright, I'm gonna be back. That sucks. I'm not totally sure about the vampire, but yep, this sucks. I really had to have Kazu not have sheepdogs in hand, which wouldn't have been. I mean, they only have 4, so like, I mean, you could fail to connect them, but that did not happen. So that's probably also having 2 in this hand probably also is killer for me. If I have the teacher now, I need to not have the sheepdogs. So anyway, I mean, all they're gonna do now is, I guess they could disciple modify, and then, well, this is a little hard, right? Because they're gonna try to get. I mean, they would kind of want to play the enlarge. Anyway, it's not as critical, I guess. Maybe they'll give me a plague and I'll get to go. Plague is still in there, I think. Now we're playing Dominion. I think I'm still losing, but it feels good, you know. It feels like I've accomplished something here, whatever that may be. Just imagine if the Necropolis had been in this hand and I could play Peasant too, then we'd really be playing Dominion. Everything is pretty bad to buy, I think, at this point. I could think about a storeroom, I guess, but have the enlarge, like, we're just kind of we've got a lot of stuff going on here. That rules. So this is either got to be another modify or like an enlarge. New livery. Livery's pretty good. Are they just gonna like go for provinces? It's not crazy, I guess. It feels a little backwards, like you have that much money and then going away from being able to dominate, but feels a little bad to me, but what do I know? Not 6-3 on sheepdogs. I didn't have my... Well, I guess when you do the black cat plays during their turn, it really doesn't interact that much with the with their sheepdogs. Not like in a benefit. They're already gaining a card. I said all that back whenever, and it doesn't really make any sense. They've gained a green card. They can react their sheepdogs. So you cursing them is just, you know, maybe it's nice fuel, maybe for like bad or something. I think it clearly the black cats can give some value here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and remodel the stonemason, though it actually a little bit weird, right? The other option is to just straight up start by trashing the copper or the hovel for coppers and playing the... So I am fighting... I mean, there are a number of ways this could be done. The one that gets us the most draw versus the one that gets us the most plus actions isn't clear to me. Maybe they're just going to mill the provinces down and hope to finish that quickly enough. Feels a little weird, though, if you crop rotation here. They're just going to be all about... Okay. That's interesting. I'm not convinced that that works out for Kazu, but... I might have crop rotationed after getting 2 provinces. So they're like clearly going to try to run the provinces down quickly with the enlarge and modify and stuff. We curse them some here. Well, anyway, it didn't happen, so. Yeah, I don't actually know what you do here, what I'm going to do here. I guess I'm going to do the villagey thing, just because there are quite a few terminals that I would like to play down in here. This is the worst draw I could have gotten. Very nearly. We just lose a bat. We didn't get any coppers trashed. We didn't get... This is so sad. We didn't move anywhere. We didn't get money. We didn't get disciples. I mean, we play a soldier. Okay, we play a soldier. That's something. I'm helping 3-pile. I have to just trash a bat, which sucks. I guess while they have a points lead, they don't necessarily have to do any gains on green. That kind of surprises me a little bit. Where's my other black cat? I basically need to have one big turn and get a dominate so that I at least have more points. But this is rough, frankly. It feels rough. I didn't get to play the enlarge. I think there's still a modify down here. Can't hit the trashing to save my life. I just triggered a shuffle with 4 of the sheepdogs missing without thinking about it even the tiniest amount. There are a lot of black cats. Oh man. It's like drawing on doesn't help. We could resign, but we'll play on a little bit. They could still have kind of bad turns. Just not super likely. I'm sort of playing this as if I'm going to eventually have plus action on black cat instead, which is not insane, but I don't know that it helps me much. They may be able to just mill it and be done right now. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really have anything. I'm not sure I blame myself. I'm sure, I guess I have to blame. I don't really want to take a 3-minute break, no. But like what I mean, I can't stop you. Yeah. This is just what playing in the A division means, I guess. This is not, I mean, they haven't been that bad. I mean, like, they have not been bad. The 2 games, whatever. I mean, this one had some tricky things to count and stuff, but in the middle. Well, I still had 4 coppers at the end. That's pretty bad. I could have bought different things for sure at different points. 5-2 still feels like pretty hard. All right, we gotta clear our minds. 4 more games. Still 4 more games to win. The thing I did in this game that was really bad was the reaction of the sheepdog when I had Necro Disciple sheepdog in hand. That was pretty bad. And that potentially was like a turn of tempo because I could have drawn the modify and down there and played some of the other stuff. So, I mean, I have to take some blame because that one was that particular part. Some of the other aspects of it, I don't blame myself so much for. Well, this is, again, we have delay, but we don't really have goodbye anywhere. We can scepter patrons. I guess you just do that because you have to do something here. It might as well be the scepter patron. I guess. You can open. You could open something like patron gear into the double urchin to try and have some other things going on. I mean, you can, of course, also just go for your double urchin. Five two would be really bad here. I hope Kazu has a 5-2. If they don't collide in a hand, you just delay the other one, I guess. It's a little hard if you don't see it, but you see one of them. Like this is a little bit annoying. Because I got a 50-50, and if I hit it, it's much better than the alternative. But if you miss it, it's probably pretty bad. I knew this was going to happen. I think I just will play it safe. Kazu gets theirs before the shuffle, so that sucks. But maybe Kazu went for it. I kind of don't think so, because if Kazu had the question, Kazu would have sat there for at least 30 seconds. I get a nice draw here, though. Okay. This sucks too. Well, we gotta discard the patron, right? If they merc us, we need to be able to play urchin. We need to be able to get the second merc into the shuffle. Probably. Maybe their merc missed. Maybe. Certainly, if their merc didn't miss, I'm going to scream. But I'm going to assume it missed. I hope I haven't missed a Basilica play. I should just default to playing all my money. Because that's the kind of thing I'll just do auto click or auto buy and totally whiff on. So I hope I haven't done that yet. I cannot even imagine what would be in hand that is forcing this much of a deliberation. It actually is beyond me. We draw 2 estates. We can't draw. Well, okay. I want to draw an action. I mean, I want to just buy nothing, draw an action. I mean, the buys here are not particularly appealing. And take a gear. I mean, the 2 estate draw in particular is pretty rough. I mean, it probably won't matter, but it doesn't feel great. Because it means like here we were never hitting 5 here, but I assume they'll buy a scepter, to be honest. I would. I think I would. Anyway, I'm in pretty big trouble. We're going to draw 2 actions here instead. We're going to draw like patron and gear instead of just one. They go with the delay. Hey, we did just draw one, alright. So you complain enough, it works out. Well, I don't need 2 of those probably. They're going to get a couple Basilica points probably. Not guaranteed, but you can go like patron scepter and get a couple, or smithy, yeah. Scepter looks good still to me. I have to try and hit 5 here, which I should be able to do. And probably buy a capital. I hope I get 0 of the Basilica points like that game against N.A. Smith and lose just on that. Guess I would be super heavy in debt. I guess the fear there is you go so far in debt that you can't even delay. 2 Basilica. It's like there's some risk here, right? That you can't even delay. You can't buy while in debt. Now the question here is what order we play this stuff in, probably. I'm gonna be a little thinner. Do we do this? Just assume we draw a mercenary and go like this. We did not draw mercenary, so I guess I should have kept the thing. Now we just have two. It's literally merc gear. Our bottom 3 cards here. You cannot write this stuff. So they were able to get just enough to pay off debt, unfortunately. Which is cool. Oh well. How do they have so many villages? Or so many villagers? I'm so sad right now. I think I was okay. I think I actually am like in a winning spot if I don't bottom deck all 3 of gear and mercenary. All 3 gear, or you know what I mean. I mean, I could have set aside a gear in my other thing, but then, I mean, the gear play would have just been like damage control. It wasn't going to be that good. The mercenary play was the bigger issue. So Kazu just still gets to do whatever. Excuse me, sorry. Have a lot of money too, also. It's incredible. Maybe they didn't find their mercenary. I don't know. I don't know what's going on because we have to sit through this stuff every time. It sucks when you're like, I guess I'm not really that far ahead on. I guess I'm not actually ahead on trashing. Oh. If I don't get to the capital or the scepter, there will be problems. There'll probably be problems regardless. Buy one of scepter or capital, just pick one. Almost certainly the scepter is better at this point. I trashed 5 coppers and 1 estate. Oh boy. I'm not sure on the play here, but okay. Do we set aside estate and copper? Or just estate? What are we gonna have? We're now 6, 10, 12, down to 9. Would probably just be I'm definitely gonna lose the Basilica split. They play Smithy right off rip here, I'll lose it. I'm okay with it. I mean, they set that aside. That I can live with. The last 2 cards are both mercenaries. That's not so weird, but they're gonna delay a Smithy. Probably am lost. I'm not totally tracking the money stuff means, but they probably draw deck Probably, well, it just isn't going to matter in a second. We could just not delay anything, I guess, and just use the buy. If you start getting golds, do they answer with like Corsairs? I guess you can gain bureaucrats. I don't know. That's kind of interesting. I guess I'm not going to attack this next turn. I could buy an urchin, but not that appealing. Because you need some money that's not capitals. I mean, you're doing the scepters, but that's not a lot of money. I wonder if there's a good way to put cash into the deck. That isn't just buying golds, because they can buy a Corsair. But it does force them to buy a Corsair, so it's not clear to me, but this is pretty bad for Kazu. They're gonna have to recoup the villagers next turn. I guess. Well, that's good. I'm glad. Bureaucrats seem so bad, but like, I guess it does give them coffers too, which is probably not worth doing. I guess you just get a bunch of patrons and scepters. Mostly scepters. Get scepters, capitals, and smithies, and just go from there. I don't know. The cash is weird here for sure. Because gold is vulnerable. Though again, the window, like you might buy gold while you're greening, and if they take a Corsair, like, do you care? Like by the time it gets played. You could try to preempt it somewhat, but I'm gonna assume they take the scepter here. Is there any nice other scepter tricks, like with improve or something? Buys a province. That's wild. Does that work? Am I gonna lose to that? I'll be so mad if that is the thing and I lose to it. Seems so bad. Give the gears. We at least left the copper down, which is something. Do we want to play? I have such a hard time believing that the move is to buy province. This doesn't change the number. I mean, we're still gonna have 3 at the end of next turn. It's just a money thing, right? Do a $14, $18, but with 12 debts. I don't know what we buy with that. Could buy an urchin. I mean, maybe the idea is just to I want to attack them. I don't know how much that matters. I don't think they'll have time for Corsair if they're going for that now. Could buy a smithy. I think we probably needed it. Unfortunately, they're sort of getting. So they have like 10 real dollars. They're spiking up pretty high even when they pay off debt. I don't know. Maybe I lose. I only have about that same amount. I don't have much more. I don't have any more actually. I only have $10 as well. The improve seems like reasonable. The gear stuff aside. They didn't gear anything aside, so they must have the... I don't know where the Merc is. I'm also still fighting that 4-point difference too, so it's not a small difference. And my building is, of course, very slow. And maybe this should have been like gold smithy. I don't know. It takes a couple turns before it pays for itself, since I am in debt. So there's 4 cards left. What did I discard? No, there's only 3 cards left. And it's just a copper. So I maybe just gear these things and go like this. We could go gold improve urchin. I don't know. That may be under drawing a little bit. And we have the smithy set aside. But it could go pretty bad. We'll see if they get a Corsair. That'd be interesting. If they get a Corsair, I might just actually get a bureaucrat. I still can't believe the province was correct. There's no way. There's no way if you buy province and then go back to this, like that can't help you. Anyway. Unfortunately, this one's looking like it's going to be an hour-long game, which sucks real bad. Well, okay. I mean, we're over halfway there, and we're not really close to ending. So hopefully people are kind of figuring out what their decks. This is probably capital, right? Not actually totally sure. I mean, we could keep. I mean, in theory, we may draw something that we're willing to trash to mercenary, in which case we might keep. Like, we could maybe trash the gear. Not really sure. I don't know that the only thing I would really trash to it is one of the gears, and honestly, I mean, if I draw that, like, I can just play it. Anything else would probably. I mean, I guess you could lose a patron or the improve if you needed to get the turn, but. So they're gonna go in with 2 villagers, nothing delayed, and maybe I do need a urchin. Can't tell what. Oh, I thought it was province. Oh, they did set aside with gear? Never mind then. Not a province, or it's not. There's still a villager issue, right? I don't know why they chose to do improve. That seems not correct to me. I don't know. So at the start of the next turn, they're going to play a smithy, then they get to play 2 more actions. Period. Maybe that's enough for him, but I don't love it. I mean, what are you getting out of the improve here? Or 2 improves, really. You need to have a use for 2 of them. You can do one of the patrons into a scepter. This is a little better village-wise. My fear is that I just have a dud hand and then kind of am left just buying province, although that probably doesn't help me much. So the idea here is just to play a bunch of capitals and like do like 3 provinces or something. Or and just be doing the pure delay stuff. I guess that makes sense. It doesn't make money, but it feels like it will go into, if the game lasts long enough, it feels like that's a problem, but I don't know. still doesn't really make sense to me. I'll be honest. Obviously, if you can draw it, then one turn it makes you a lot of money, but maybe I just don't understand capital. Hopefully they just have a bad enough turn this next turn. I mean, it can't be that bad, right? They've got a smithy delayed and they have some stuff set aside, but I mean, I guess I can do the same thing. I think it's valuable. How many provinces do we think they can get if they... I still have 3. Are they gonna get to 40 or something? They have 5 capitals. They play them all, they get, which they can do, get $30 plus whatever. Well, quite a bit less now, right? They haven't improved. They can't play that and draw everything. I don't think they can hit 40. Actually, because, well, the scepters, they've 2 scepters, so that's 4. They have like 6 plus the things. Like 36-ish. But they could certainly go 4 provinces, which would be a lot of provinces. They can get a lot of duchies if they can do it. Yeah. I can play 4 terminals. Maybe I just buy nothing. I need them to have a really bad turn, I think. I could buy a smithy. It's the only thing I'm kind of thinking, though. If I buy a smithy, do I need all of the capitals? 30? No. This isn't like a pile out, is it? It might even be a pile out. I didn't think about that. Well, 10 gains. That'd be a little hard. Like if you play the improved, then that gets you some stuff as well. Probably I'm just lost. I don't know that they can get the provinces, but if they have the improved and they can do 4 of the provinces, they can do like 2 duchies as well or something, and that's going to be way more than I can make up. Yeah. This is 2 duchies in quad province, so that's way more points than I'll ever score here. And they'll be able to delay some smithies as well. So even though the game, I mean, even though they're going to have tons of debt, it should still be completely safe, especially with the Basilica points. Like I can maybe get the rest of the duchies and the province, but there's no way that's enough points. I can score like 8, 24 points, 34, like that. They're going to score 30 points right now. They're going to have 50. I can't get anywhere near 50. I mean, it's just half VP. You can just do it, Kazu. You can just buy the provinces. Even get an estate, hooray. Yeah, there's no... I had to just play for them not drawing smithies off their delayed smithy, and there wasn't really anything else I could do anyway. Oh well. I don't know how to balance the capital versus scepter stuff here in the delaying things. There's like some windows where I thought I was doing better, but clearly not good enough. This is all half AP, which begs the question, why am I not, alright, I know it doesn't mean beg them, whatever. Why don't I just resign? The viewers at home may be asking themselves. It's a fair question. It's like the delay here is funny. The delay is like insurance that your opponent doesn't resign just to make it more likely you can buy the last province on your turn, even though it's all a winning state, right? I mean, there's no way to curse. There's how many points? There's 18, 24, 32 points. So it's just there's no way to lower their score. Well, we had a 50-minute game. That's pretty bad. They're going to play the 5-2. What does Market Towns do? Just can't do it. I don't think Sheepdog is that good, is it? I mean, there are a few things that can do stuff for you. So infuriating. If it takes them longer than 5 seconds to click the recruiter, I'll resign. That's it. They're gonna click recruiter. There's just no... What does Fated do? No, they're going to click recruiter. They're going to say so bad. I mean, the reason to get a sheepdog is just because the cycling's a little nicer. At least they didn't play the recruiter turn 3. I guess you can do tragic hero stuff. Yeah. There's that. What is faded? When shuffling, you may look through the cards. I see. I guess that could be useful. What do you buy here? 2 recruiters and then, I don't know, whatever good thing catches your eye. Mostly tragic heroes to getting maybe some contracts and then probably some charms. Mostly just buying lots and lots of tragic heroes. You just buy another tragic hero. I mean, another recruiter, I'm pretty sure. I guess I can be convinced that you go ahead and buy the tragic hero, but just because they're shuffling. Yeah. Is that not logged in anyway? Oh, they had already shuffled. Gotcha. What do I do here? This is all very, very rough. There are a lot of bad results with anything I buy here. There's some really bad ways it could go. I don't know what treasure you take here first. I would probably take the contract. But maybe it's one of these other things. At least they didn't find the recruiter. There is that. I don't know if it'll be enough to save me, but it's something. So they opt not to lose the tragic hero there. Interesting. I guess the nice thing here is I possibly get to actually net some villagers. This turn, or at least there's some world where that happens. I don't think I know exactly what the faded interface looks like on here. I probably have played with it at least at some point, but I don't really remember. I'm practically overwhelmed with the anticipation of it. So unfortunately, they do find their charm. They may have the sheepdog in hand. Well, it's probably sheepdog or estate, so they may react, yeah. They're just saving the villager and doing a little bit of cycling there. Yeah, makes sense. I don't know what they got for their charm power now. Could just get another charm, honestly. I'm pretty well lost on this one. I don't know where my ones where I was player 1 got turned around. Well, the first game was just kind of a crapshoot. This bad splits on 2 of them, and I mean, I can't blame the splits too much because my shuffles were okay, but like my second, my reshuffles were okay, but this is still rough. I mean, this is just, unfortunately, the nature of this faded tragic hero stuff means that basically that Kazumaru cannot lose here. without severely misplaying it. Because they're going to have villagers. They're going to be able to top deck at least the tragic hero they've just gained. So it's going to be very bad. But it's the way of the world. I may get to do a really big masterpiece at one point just for the joy of it. I wonder if I have enough draw here to do. Can't even redraw, can I? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We do have 10. We can only redraw 1. I was going to say if we could get a King's Cash Charm, that would be kind of nice, but I can't actually do that. Kazu can. But Kazu gets at least 3 more tragic heroes from charming here. Possibly. I'm not sure where the money is exactly, but that may be all that they get, but so I think you go charm 3 tragic heroes. I don't know what else you could do. This is fully over, of course. And again, faded on a draw card here just means that if Kazu gets ahead, that I cannot possibly beat him. That's basically what faded is contributing to the gameplay here. I'm overwhelmed with salt. Possibly terminal salt. Oh, I do actually have enough. I forgot I had the snowy. I could have gone. It doesn't matter. It's not worth figuring out. It's true I did mess up. I could have gotten additional 5s here. These are facts of the life that I'm living. Kazu probably will need to like recruit something a little nicer here. I will just say that unfortunately, I don't think it mattered even if I had gotten the other tragic hero. I don't know if they have a win here, but they're not miles off from it. I guess eventually enough of these tragic heroes die that things change a little bit, but I mean, I don't know. Can you get They did recruit the King's Cash. Looks reasonable. I forgot when I was counting. I forgot my snowy. I did have 2 overdraw, so I could have played Sheepdog first and then played the Tragic Heroes to gain King's Cash and Charm. And if I see all the draw stuff, then I get to go through it. I guess I'm guaranteed to see all this draw stuff actually. I would have 1 Fear of Villager now, but that hardly seems like a plays a copper. Lame. What do you get? It's not that good to get like Maybe it is. I was gonna say you buy one tragic hero and gain 1,000,000 charms, I guess, but can you draw that? I'd be worried about drawing that. You might as well just gain. You just gain a bunch of recruiters and have them function basically as like sellers on your coppers, and then have a little bit of overdraw to get the rest of the get enough King's Cash charm stuff to empty the duchies on the next turn. You could buy a silver and get 7 sheepdog. I mean, that wouldn't be insane, actually, at all. You have a few options. Yeah, it wouldn't even be crazy to just buy one tragic hero and gain six sheepdog with a silver. It would certainly be a fun blue turn the next turn. Now, if I had played a little better, some of that would represent a threat, or I would have cards that could threaten a win against that. Against some of the options I'm describing. So there's always a point in favor of playing better just to make it a little more awkward for your opponent. And even if you're ultimately likely to lose, there's something to making stuff trickier in case they sometimes mess up. That's so sad. This isn't. I mean, some of the stuff here is fun. I mean, I kind of like explosive tragic hero stuff in general. It's just, it's more fun when you're on the giving rather than the receiving end of it. This feels like a draw. Like there could be draw problems, though I don't know. I mean, you maybe put draw problems in quotation marks, right? Because they're going to for sure play 2 tragic heroes off the start. They're just taking the duchies. Interesting. What's the idea? I mean, isn't there some? Maybe there's not. Maybe there's not a draw issue, but they still have another tragic hero in hand. There are 5 in the trash. I have 2 here. They have 1 here. They bought 1. They must just have another one in hand that they didn't play. If they had played it and gotten a charm, would they have had a win? I wonder. Can I do estates duchy? That's just 13 points. Incredibly high amount of money. All right. What are we doing now? King, king, charm, charm. We can do 6 of those. We could do Deji. How much money would we have if we do? Ten, 6, 6. That's a lot. Okay. Are there any mission tricks? I don't think there are any mission tricks. You know what you could have done against the Tragic Hero stuff? Could have minioned. Now I don't know there was actually a window where that mattered. But it would have been worth thinking about, and I did not think about it. I mean, they can counterplay that a little bit. They can put like one or two, whatever, on top, and then just leave the rest and see. Do they have to all go? No. I can get 6, 12. And I can 20. Can triple province. We do charm power twice. And then money. 8, 14. That's 22. That gives us 6, 13. Does that win by 1? Is that real? Do I have enough buys at the end of all that? It takes 9 buys? It's a buy short. I wonder if Kazu counted that. It's a buy short. That's incredible. Also, I think I'm counting the money wrong. I have 6. I could have 6, 6, 18, 24. I'm definitely counting the money wrong too. It's just 20 if I do the... Yeah, it's just 20. And you need 14. Oh, I'm just way off. I'm just way, way off. I don't know where I even got to that point of what I was counting. That's... Oh, okay. I don't need to waste Kazu's time. I mean, of course I'm fine with wasting Kazu's time a little bit, but they did have the 3 tragic heroes. Truly tragic. It would be kind of funny if they like didn't remember to get enough money to do whatever thing. Not that I mean they would still win, but I was super overcounting or undercounting how much it would cost to do the pile out win kind of stuff. Well, that one was at least a shorter game. In the fashion that I would have liked. Okay. This is like... I don't even know what this is. It's inventor, but there's no draw. We've had the weirdest boards. The previous board at least was complete in an engine sense. This one is not. So like you just... I don't even know. It's like you have to do some kind of money thing. I mean, you can. This is awful. Like you can do some goat herd stuff, though it's not. None of it's particularly good. You can do some miser stuff, I guess. You could try to gain. You could try to get 10 million favors. There was a point where the Sycophant League of Bankers thing was busted before it said if you discarded at least one. Because you could have 2 Sycophants in hand, and you would just get to, you just buy Sycophants until you had 8 favors. And then if you had 2 Sycophants in hand, you could buy a province. Barring discard attacks. I mean, it wasn't like wildly busted, but it was sometimes a thing. So if you get all 20 Sycophants and trash some of them, you get still not a huge amount of favor, or still not a huge amount of extra money. And after you play Sycophant, of course, you likely have just no money. This is so bad. It's not even like the money stuff is just not even. I don't know how to do it. You could try to angle for crypting with like Haven. Try to time the Haven's set-asides to coincide with nice crypting and save. Like that's possible, but not easy. You can't really do a lot of the other stuff all that excitingly. I'm gonna buy the miser, I don't care. I'll do it. I'll be the guy who buys miser. I guess I could have well, no, I couldn't actually. You could try to. You can try to Haven a bunch of stuff at some point and save one thing and try to have like a mini mega turn. Maybe the piles are crappy enough. The piles get low, you do that on a turn. Get some duchies or something. That's possible. Already flag bearing it. I mean, I guess if you know I don't have it, it's not crazy to do it. This is either, I guess, saving or just scrounge trash in a state. Doesn't seem that good. I guess you can get to a point where you play 3 inventors like a bit and be able to, but scrounge costs money. Why isn't scrounge free? Oh, I could have done that. No, I didn't have the money to do that. Cool. I'm not even sure about the artisans. I'm definitely not sure about the misers, but whatever. We're here now. Probably be like turn 6 before I can take the flag bearer. Well, we're going to draw one of the things. One of either inventor, or at least one, I guess I should say. At least one of inventor or the thing. I know what's going to happen. The turn I buy flag bearer, they will absolutely have goat herd flag bearer in hand, and it'll also be after a turn I put like we'll draw both. Like here we'll draw, let's say we'll have a copper bottom decked. We'll draw the goat herd and the inventor. We'll trash an estate. We'll gain the flag bearer. We'll save or something, and they will absolutely have goat herd flag bearer in hand on the next turn. What's gonna happen? We're gonna speak it into existence. This is just one of those nights. Sometimes it happens. Unfortunately, this is going bad enough that I'm starting to risk demotion, despite the rest of the season going okay-ish. Just okay-ish, to be fair. It didn't go great. I really need a couple to feel safe. Well, okay. In this particular instance, what actually happened was not the thing that I said would happen. So only half of it can come true at this point. But that half, surely will still come true. Hey, but we get the counter to that truth, or whatever that means. You get the villas are just pretty bad. I still don't really believe in whatever Kasu's doing. I don't believe in what I'm doing, though. It was definitely one of those situations. Just kind of trying to compress my deck to a point where the miser's worth a lot of money. I have a couple of them. That's about it. You draw an inventor with 2 misers, you can gain a villa and buy 2 provinces. If you that's the dream, right? But we're not playing the misers that quickly because there's no draw. And we bombed your goat herd. But we're saving and having in as much as we can. Like, it's technically possible with Crypt and Haven to sort of finagle your way into playing several inventors in a turn. Well, more than several, but like quite a number. It just seems hard. I guess the artisan lets you gain a crypt. Is that the idea? I couldn't believe that that's a thing. But you did have to take an estate back to do it, which is a little unappealing. Artisan chaining. But why? But what does the artisan do? That's what I don't get. I guess the only thing I can think of is a 3-pile with duchies, which is, you know, not impossible. I mean, that's the angle that to me, because otherwise, if you're doing all this other stuff, the artisans, it just clutters. I don't know. I mean, I understand you could gain provinces with them as well. That seems hard. I mean, that seems as hard as just gaining provinces with inventor alone, basically. It's not quite as hard, but you know. If I get a gold, at least I can slot gold into a roll here, and the rest I get a little confused about. Of course, they draw this right away. I mean, to be fair, they have 2 of them. I really shouldn't. Of course, this isn't so weird. Like they had bottom deck their Goherd, I think, and so I should. All right, I take it back. I take back my grumbling for this thing. This is probably just a somewhat normal thing. I don't know how much I want to fight over the flag. I mean, I could do another one, but if they never like crypt away, they're gonna be quite a bit less than me. Here we go. But still, it can't be more than 3 treasures. I mean, if it's not at least 3 treasures, then it looks a little weird to me, to be honest. You could be setting it up for the next turn as well. You save something and do whatever. The thing I'm moderately afraid of is them running piles before I can score. I feel like if I score, I'm in like an okay spot. I am sort of afraid of these 3 piles going. Why is this? Why does this say 2 golds and copper? Do they have another crit? No, this now they have more, but they haven't played it yet. I thought they picked some of that up. Does this just show what they set aside? But it can't show the actual contents because that's really misleading. No, I mean, I understand what it's doing. It's showing you what they did set aside, but it doesn't show you how many they have left. Is that true, or am I just totally... The first crypt play set aside 2 silvers and gold, or 2 coppers and gold. The next one did 2 coppers and gold. I'm super confused. Why would any of them show 2 gold, 1 copper? Is it just bugged? Someone will have to tell me, I guess. Buy another flag bearer. They love the flag bearer. Very confusing. I guess this number is how many cards there are actually left. But you don't. I don't even know. We've started the duchy run. You can get a lot of points, I guess. I'm just hoping it doesn't sustain itself and I can actually do like a double province at least once. Obviously, like, I'm a long way from... I mean, if they can empty the duchies, they can certainly empty the villas. don't think that'll be a problem for them. I mean, you might as well buy the Havens, right? I don't know if that's correct, but I felt pretty forced at this point. Don't have double, unfortunately. There's some worlds where I have the flag bearer longer. We maybe get there, but did they trash a card? No. Oh. And it's like if I don't take province, this is... We bottom decked the last one. Actually, we haven't seen the artisans for quite a while, so I assume they're gonna come out soon. We should have Haven though the goat herd rather than one of these green cards. Could have at least maybe trashed the flag bearer if that's relevant. This is the second 3-hour league match I've played in as many days, which sucks. So thanks, J-Nails. Thanks, Kazu. We're not to 3 hours yet. I assume they found a pile out. Some of this is just like slow motion, even though they already have the wind discovered. Ooh. Well, let's get this one over with. All these boards have been weird. This one's weird too. I just do not have the interest in managing the whatever you have to do here with barge and wave the turtle or sacrifice haggler, whatever it is. I just do not have the interest. I can't remember if Haggler City. I guess it doesn't matter here. That's not what's gonna apply. I wonder what you do though. You can get Tactician and play it. There are a few things. I'm thinking Haggler Bounty. Well, Haggler Bounty Hunter Rat Catcher, I guess. I'm not super dying to get another importer just yet. Could also go like Tactician Bounty Hunter. I wonder if the King's Cash stuff is good. Instead of Tactician. Well, I guess it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive at all. Yeah, I mean, I can see it. You weren't going to do it. gonna be weird anyway, but this draw's a little nicer. Though now finding that text is not that much nice. If they play double haggler here, I'll lose my mind. I don't have to lose my mind. Tactician missing hurts a bit. I mean, otherwise my turns were okay. Or pretty good, but sacrifice. Maybe should have gotten sacrifice over second bounty hunter. I don't know. I don't know how much of the action stuff work you actually get to. I mean, there's plenty of cheap stuff to fuel it. If you play multiple hagglers, that's not really the issue. But, well, I mean, then you're gonna I mean, it works, but it may be kind of bad. I don't really know. Kazu's probably buying province. Who knows? Dude. The disappearing money is not great, which is the thing that makes me wonder if you should just play the single tactician and then go to barge stuff, so that you can at least use the King's Cash stuff. Because the payload here is relatively weak. On that front. It's barge sacrifice. Yeah, like they're going that angle, which I think makes a lot of sense. We could go that as well with a double. How much money were we gonna have? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. We could have more than 9. We could either do 9 or we could have. I mean, to be fair, it's a little bit hard to make work. Regardless of what you do. Well, okay. Maybe should have gone for the double barge. guess I'm a little more exiled, but that doesn't really matter that much. I mean, it matters at some point, but we're still just shuffling pretty big decks, so has limited value. What do you go here, like King's Cash? King's Cash, Gold, Barge, Barge, Sacrifice, Sacrifice. Two gold seems a little greedy. I mean, until you've drawn a couple times, you can get them later, I guess, is my thinking. Unfortunately, they're going to have a barge in here, and they're probably going to have a... Well, the deck's still pretty big, but I don't know here. This isn't looking that promising. Okay, it turned out okay. But we could wait here. This is a little sad. I mean, if they don't draw too much, it's not terrible, but if they draw a lot, it's terrible. Could turtle this guy. I'm going to go ahead and do this. There's definitely something to be said for just next turning it. Oh, don't you? Isn't doing away the turtle just strictly better than this? It probably doesn't matter. I mean, if you have two of them there, but they were listening. Kazumaru was listening. I guess they're just redoing their entire turn. Okay, never mind. Well, that was very strange. That sure was weird. I can't get a bounty hunter to save my life. There we go. Okay. So we could do this. We could go bigger here. Or we could do the tactician. It's that versus... How does this work? How does turtling a tactician work? Yeah, not well. If you have guide, then we were talking about something. If we had 5 here, I would probably not do this, but just getting another 4 out of it doesn't seem super exciting, though they are going to finish off probably the sacrifices. Which is a pain. Of course, we have this hand, so we're not even really anywhere near guaranteed to get out of here. Whereas Kazumaru certainly fired off. I guess the actions still are a little bit of a problem. I almost had to play the tactician just to have a turn. Though if they get all these, I don't know. I almost think I have to do this, right? And give myself a chance to draw barge. Because otherwise, what am I doing? There's just going to be... If I play the tactician there, what do I gain? I gain like King's Cash. Gold barge, maybe. It's just dumb. It was unfortunate that we had to play the rat catcher. Would have loved to have bottom decked it there. But that's... These decks are kind of stupid. You know what would have been a little nicer is to have sacrificed the tactician and played the importer. I don't know. That may not help. May not have made any real difference in the shuffle. There's like no reason Kazu could like necessarily expect to draw clean at the start of next turn. I don't think they're gonna have barges left. And they of course have tons of copper still. And they're getting 3 provinces probably, so or does this just pile? Didn't even look. I didn't even check the piles. Okay, I guess it just piles. All right, well, that was embarrassing. Sorry that you had to watch that, I guess. Hopefully I demote, because I guess I deserve it. All right, well, I'll catch y'all next time. See ya.